Waka Flocka, Flocka. I go hard in the motherfucking paint. Anyways, he said something that was interesting, and that kind of made me reminisce on Melly Mel and the Eminem situation. And I'll talk about why. So, Waka respects his elders, and he applies that mentality to hip-hop, making sure to salute those who have paved the way for rappers like himself. Pandora recently caught up with Waka for a chat about the hip-hop 50-year anniversary, and the Brick Squad rapper explained what the genre meant to him growing up. He said this.
What hip hop was, it was like our greats. It was like they stole the key to our handcuffs. And our voices created a key and unbroke the chains. That's what hip hop was. So for a guy like me, so you know this, when I see any older rapper, I automatically respect him. Like no matter if he disrespects me or anything, because if it wasn't for him or her, I wouldn't be here. So they automatically are monitoring my life. That's how it is. They guarantee my respect all time. That's what 50 years of hip hop is.
So I agree with that. 100% I agree with that. I think, especially me, and I've gotten the cool thing about some of the videos I've done, artists have seen, and they messaged me, like I said, the Mike Jones thing, he messaged me, he was like, hey man, I appreciate you making a video on me and showing respect and not saying I fell off or using words just disrespecting me like other videos have done, and I've had other artists reach out, Chingy, Chameleonaire, whoever, right? It's very cool to get that response, because I think, if you don't respect the previous artists, you just don't respect hip-hop as a culture in itself. You have to respect everything that came before, because if it wasn't for those artists, to me, it would be Mike Jones, Chameleonaire, all these other artists from the 2000s. They inspired me to fall in love with hip-hop and to do this platform that you guys are listening to and watching and all these documentaries, all because of these artists. If it wasn't for these artists, I wouldn't have fell in love with the genre. I would not be doing videos like this. So I respect every single artist that came before, and I think everybody should be doing that. A lot of people now on social media, especially, you'll see clown older artists, say they're washed up, this and that, and that's just, those people don't respect hip hop as a culture. Those people don't care about hip hop, and I don't like people like that who just disrespect older generations of artists and say they're washed up, trash, garbage, they fell off, they're one hit wonders, whatever. Every artist had their place, did their thing, had their impact. And that's the way I see it. And to me, they're all in their own right legends. I use the word legend lightly, because I like to me, a legend is somebody who's done something in that moment that was massive, and that's it. And legend also could be, somebody who's had a long history. But a legend to me is like in the past, what somebody's done really great. So when I call somebody a legend, I'm like, yeah, that's a legend because they've done something in the past. I don't know what the definition, like the actual direct dictionary definition of a legend is. Let me see. An extremely famous or notorious person, especially in a particular field. Okay, a traditional story sometimes popularly regarded as historical, but unauthenticated. Usually we use the second term, an extremely famous or notorious person. But this says an extremely famous or notorious person, especially in a particular field. Yeah, so you could say that at a certain point, these artists were really, really famous. Not right now, but Mike Jones still gets like thousands of calls on his 281-330-8004 number. Come on, man. So yeah, they're legends to me. To me, I call a lot of the older, I don't call like the newer artists legends because they still got a path that they have to create. But yeah, I call a lot of the older artists legends. I don't care what they did in numbers. I don't care if they just had one hit. I don't care, whatever. If they've impacted my life, they're legends to me. So that's the way I look at it. And I'm glad Waka Flocka looks at it like that. But here's the but and why I mentioned Eminem and Melly Mel. This creates, if you're too much into I respect all of them, it creates a situation with Eminem and Melly Mel. Eminem constantly shows praise to Melly Mel, and then Melly Mel spits it in his face and says he's only great because he's white and all this and all that. Some of these older legends, they do think they're too great to have any artist recognize them or show respect to them. It's like, who are these new artists? They're garbage. They're washed up. They're nothing like us in our era. Like that type of mentality of older legends, I don't like. So when you show too much love, sometimes it can backfire. But that's a rare instance. Most legends appreciate you just showing love, man, because they want to get recognized for what they've done, man. They like Melly Mel. One of the founding fathers of hip hop. One of the founding fathers. He laid one of the early, bricks for this place that's built. this house of hip hop, so you call it, if you're a guest or not, whatever. Lord Jamar talking about guests and stuff. Yeah, just great, man. I like Waka Flocka's mentality on this, but you got to be careful sometimes too, because some of these older legends, they'll throw it back at you and spit in your face for just showing respect, which is crazy to me. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that briefly.